38 years old, single, and getting ready for our first date. With all due respect to the guy that I'm going on the date with, I hate dating. I know I need to do this, but I just don't want to. Here's the problem, I want to get married. As much as I would love for God to just like put my perfect man on my doorstep, I don't think that's gonna happen. So it's just such an awkward experience. Just like you put two strangers at a table and hope that they can find something in common to talk about. This could be your last first date, and it could. It could also be one of 20 more last first dates. So I'm so negative right now. I'm so negative right now.
Congratulations!
Woman, be real. You are 38 years old, you're still single, and you're just starting to date now. You have absolutely no business being negative. You actually should feel rather lucky that there's guys out there who are willing to lower their standards in order to meet with you for the first time. And I honestly don't think you're doing yourself any favors by posting online about how you're dreading this date and how you don't want to date, but you have to date for reasons that you fully can't comprehend. And that's just because men will see these videos that you post and then they'll realize that you're just using them so you don't have to be alone, instead of trying to find a mutually fulfilling relationship with a man who actually gives a damn about you. But here's the problem. You've already admitted to failure. You don't want these dates to work out because you're clinging on to the hope that this date will be the one where you meet your true love, but you're already so negative that it really doesn't matter. You've already set yourself up for failure before you even had a chance to get out of the gate. But then again, you're going out on dates and you're 38 years old. There really isn't much hope for you anyway, sister.
I genuinely believe if I could have an arranged marriage, I probably would. At the very least, let me skip to like the third or fourth date where the awkwardness is out of the way and we know we actually like each other and want to spend time with each other. That's better. I'm at a really good place in life to be dating. I am the best possible me I've been in a while to be able to devote time and energy to a partner. And really, it's okay if you need to pause and work on yourself because society rushes us into marriage being like, you need to be married by this age, scaring us into having kids a little bit later in life.
Remember, your biological clock is ticking.
Okay, woman, it's not society that pressures you to start a family. It's basic biology. You have this instinct to want to find the best possible mate and then breed in order to keep the species going. We've been doing it for thousands of years. So, yeah, you're trying to convince yourself that society is the one that's trying to rush into things, when in reality, it's been that way since the beginning. And that is because you only have a certain amount of time in order to get things done. After that, your desirability on the dating market takes a massive nosedive. And it's because of biology that men find themselves attracted to younger, more fertile women. And the fact that you're 38 years old and you're pretty much going to be the next victim to the menopause sweepstakes. And the fact of the matter is, woman, you are lucky to be able to get this date because as you get older, you're not going to be able to get any dates or get married or anything like that because you are simply not desirable on the dating market. And that is only because it took you an extra 20 years to become your most true and authentic version of yourself. Whatever the hell that means.
But here's the thing, if we rush into these marriages when we're not happy, we're not fulfilled with ourselves, we're gonna be bad partners. So I'd rather take a little longer, work on myself, and now be ready to actually love someone the way they deserve to be loved and know the type of love I deserve to have back. Typically on dates, I don't carry like my nice bag or wear heels because I don't want him to think I'm high maintenance and I don't want to accidentally be taller than him if he lied about his age. And now I'm like, you know what, so what? So what? I want you to know how well I take care of myself and I expect you to take just as good of care of me. All right, this is it. Wish me luck.
No.
How in the hell do you have to get to the point where you feel like you can love someone when you're so self-absorbed that you think showing off an overpriced designer bag that was made in a sweatshop in Vietnam is somehow akin to you taking care of yourself? You're showing off all of these expensive things. You're more or less telling the guy, hey, I expect you to buy this for me from now on, and in exchange, I might learn how to love you one day, but let's just be real here. That's impossible. You're so self-absorbed that the mere idea of loving anyone else is damn near impossible for someone like you. And then on top of that, all you're doing is endlessly complaining about how much work you have to do in order to meet somebody when you're 38 years old and still dating. I mean, woman, the odds are not in your favor, and this spoiled attitude that you're showing off is not gonna help you at all. Not like it really matters. You're the type of woman that blames society for your own life failures, but I hate to break it to you, sister, but society is just like the rest of us. We just don't give a crap about your problems.
you blew it. Capiche?
The way a woman's like gut feeling just fucking knows, okay? I'm minding my business, scrolling on TikTok. I come across this video of a guy from Austin basically exposing this other guy because he overheard him on the phone with one of his buddies talking shit about this girl that he just went on a date with. So the guy that made the video says the guy's name and then also explains a few like little side things about him. And I have this gut feeling. I'm like, I fucking know this guy. Like, I know him.
And?
Okay, so if I'm understanding your story correctly, you're sitting by yourself, apparently minding your own business and watching TikTok and watching this video about a guy who wasn't minding his own business and talking about a third party who was apparently on the phone with a fourth party who was talking smack about a woman he went out on a date with, and you're getting this story third hand and you're thinking that you know this guy because this guy was talking about another guy who was on a phone with the other guy. Okay, so freaking what? Chad goes out on a date with the chick, doesn't work out, so he's on the phone with his buddy talking smack about her. Last time I checked, that's not illegal. I mean, who freaking cares, woman? What difference does it make? You say it's your gut instinct, but all you're really doing is just shoving your nose into other people's business, and despite you saying that you were minding your own business, despite being on TikTok where everybody airs out their dirty freaking laundry. So how exactly are you supposed to be minding your own freaking business, woman?
So I screenshot a few photos that I have with the guy and I send it to the guy that made the video. And I was like, hey, I think I know who you're talking about. Does it happen to be this person? And he said, yup, that's him, confirmed. And I'm like, I fucking knew it because this guy has such a bad rep with women here in Austin, like, which is just like sad because my situation with him was 3 years ago, and clearly he's still acting up 3 years later. Like, grow the fuck up.
Speak for yourself, moron.
Oh my god, that is funny! Okay, so let me get this straight. You were porking a dude 3 years ago, and then you randomly come across another video about another guy talking about him, talking smack about a girl on the phone, and then your first inclination was to send photos to this guy to confirm the guy's identity, and yet he's the one that needs to grow up. Right, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, what freaking difference does it make, woman? You guys are no longer together, which means that anything he talks about is none of your freaking concern. And yet you feel the need to shove your nose in his business because things didn't work out, or he spurned you, or you were butthurt over the fact that he wouldn't commit to you after 6 months of naked time. I mean, whatever the excuse is, it doesn't matter. Unless this guy is being physically abusive towards these women, you have absolutely no business uncovering any of this information. I mean, what good did it do you? All it did was get you to show how immature you are on TikTok, and if that was your goal, then mission frickin' accomplished, I guess.
Good, but I would say it's horrible yet terrible. Ugly yet disgusting. You suck.
You know, I did some self-reflecting and I'm a little bit irritated, as I normally am when I self-reflect. But I think that people have made some wrong assumptions about me. You know, I'm loud, party girl, wild, but then they're like, oh, she must be a whore. Sorry, I just laugh because I'm actually something rather pathetic. I'm looking for things in the wrong places. I'm one of those. A roster? No, I put all my eggs in one basket, the wrong one.
Show a little respect. So, how many men have you slept with?
Oh, well, dear me, lady, allow me to apologize and assure you that I will never refer to you as an avenue stroller. After all, avenue strollers get paid for their services. Now, in regards to your roster, I personally couldn't care less because there's more than one way for a modern woman to completely screw up her life when she lives it on easy mode. Now, when you say that you put all of your eggs in one basket, then I am assuming you are chasing after a guy that ticked all of your proverbial boxes. He probably looked good, he was probably handsome, very good looking, and the list goes on. And yeah, you hooked up with him and you wanted to have something real with him, and he was just more interested in having some naked it fun time with your stench box of unrelenting slimy dread. And then after months upon months of endlessly nagging him and hoping to change him to be the type of man that you thought you deserved, he just kicked you to the curb because the fun times was no longer worth the effort. And yes, by the very definition of the word, that does make you pathetic, but it also makes you a spectacular screw-up, which is just downright hysterical.
Mind games? Oh, couldn't even if I tried. I've tried, and that's when I come off deranged and bipolar. Can't do it. And after our little fling ends, I usually give one guy per year a chance. After that little fling ends, I'll probably still hold a candle for you for about 2 months, you know, rejecting people, ego bruised, scared to get back out there, you know? Yeah, so whore? No. Pathetic? Yeah. I'll take that.
Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense.
Okay, fine. If you want me to call you pathetic, I'll call you pathetic. I got nothing better to do. But woman, this could have all been easily avoided here if you just had some common sense. But then again, you're a modern woman. Common sense ain't exactly in your vocabulary now, is it? So pretty much what you're telling the entire planet is that you rolled into situationship after situationship and had feelings for the guy, only for them to kick you to the curb, and then you end up grieving for something that never really was. And then you expect the next man to pay for it because you're not over the other one, but you don't want to be alone, but you don't want to be with the guy who actually wants to freaking date you in the first place. And now you're throwing a pity party saying, oh, I'm just so pathetic. Well, yeah, woman, we already knew that. We could listen to 2 seconds of your story and already determined that. So not only are you a pathetic screw-up, you're also one looking for freaking pity in a world where there's none to be had for you and your behavior, because it could have been easily avoided if you just made some wise decisions, which apparently you're incapable of doing. Just want to take a couple of moments to say thank you to the fine members of the Bounty Board over on Patreon for their continued support, as well as their generosity as I continue to create videos for you fine gentlemen and gents every single day. To the fine members of the Bounty Board, I salute you and I can't thank you enough. All hail! And if you're interested in supporting the channel, check out the Bounty Board over on Patreon, where $5 a month gets you access to exclusive content you're not going to find on YouTube. And of course, you can always support the channel by liking this video, sharing, leaving comments, and if you enjoy my particular brand of comedy, then I hope I've earned your subscription today.
Is there anyone else out there in their 40s like me who feels kind of invisible? Like, I'm not as cute as I was in my 20s and 30s. I'm definitely not as fit as I was in my 20s and 30s. I don't have as much hair as I used to have. It's literally falling off like the top of my head. Oh! Ah! It's falling off the top of my head. I just spit everywhere. Not as graceful as I used to be. And like the hair that is growing back in, it's gray.
Old.
Old?
Old.
Well, woman, the reason why you're invisible is because you're over the age of 40. Nobody really wants to see you because you're not young, you're not exactly fertile, and you're not exactly desirable to a majority of the men out there on planet Earth. But here is where I find things incredibly interesting. Even though you're over the age of 40, you will still get significantly more attention online and in public than your average 25-year-old man. That's just the way it is. And if one of those average men is made seen, it's typically because A, a modern woman needs something, or B, a modern woman needs someone to blame for all of the crimes against humanity. Other than that, the proud members of the illustrious bottom 95% club are to be neither seen nor heard. But at the same time, you can actually go out and be called stunning and brave and beautiful, and there's always someone out there for everybody, and all sorts of other platitudes that are designed specifically for you to make yourself feel better over the fact that you're closer to the grave than you are to the cradle.
Which is fine. I'm good with going gray. I've had this gray streak in my hair for a really long time and I've just been rocking it.
Liar, liar, liar.
But like, I don't have any more eyebrows. I don't have any more eyelashes. I just don't feel pretty anymore. Who else is out there who feels this way? Because it can't just be me. But also I feel like there needs to be this whole revolution of women like us on social media to prove to everyone that we're still here and we're still valid and we're still relevant.
Shut up, you don't exist.
Woman, what exactly are you talking about? There is this massive movement of women who are in their 40s, their 50s, even their 60s, who are single and constantly complain about how they're not getting attention from men. And then there is an army of women out there in your comments section who are validating your insecurities by telling you that you're beautiful and that there's someone out there for everyone. You have a massive freaking platform with which you use to do nothing except complain. Meanwhile, average men are just trying to get their voices heard, and they're constantly being shunned. They're constantly being thrown all sorts of negative labels, not to mention the occasional shadow banning from the powers that be. But no, you're the one with the problem because men don't find you bangable anymore. Well, poor you. I would play you the world's smallest violin, but you are not in any capacity deserving of such a song. Everyone gets older, lady. Nobody likes it, but it's just a part of life. You get freaking used to it, or in your case, just keep bitching about it into the void because nobody is listening to you.
There's the door. Why don't you check it out?
I swear to God, in public opinion, the greatest crime is a woman's crime of being annoying, and it repetitively outweighs a man's crime of being evil. Some examples are Skylar Whitehate in Breaking Bad. So many men I've talked to hate her, when if you watch the series, she's legitimately just doing the best she can. When Walter is just out there being evil. I love his character, obviously, but like, if we're gonna condemn anyone, he put his family through so much.
Oh, God. All right, fine. Let's go there. The reason why people don't like Skylar White is because she was domineering and was constantly emasculating Walt. Nothing he ever did for her or their family was ever good enough. That's not to say that she didn't care about him in some sense, but at the beginning, she clearly had zero respect for him. You see, if you actually watch the series, Walter White was timid and straight up broken at the beginning. He had virtually no control over his own life, and it was only until he started manufacturing illegal substances that he was finally able to gain control of something and ended up doing some insanely evil things thanks to his fragile ego and his desire to build an empire. That's not to justify any of Walt's actions. He did some pretty messed up crap, but at the same time, at the beginning, he didn't have a wife that supported him in anything, which led him down this dark and twisting path. Does that make her evil? Not really, but at the same time, that doesn't stop people from thinking less of her for being a nagging, disrespectful wife, and that is why people don't like her.
Another real-life example, Meghan Markle. Sussex, the public hates her. When you critically think about it though, her only real crime is just being annoying. It's really just being annoying. Like, for example, I just asked ChatGPT, give me the top 5 most hated men and women on the internet right now. Number 1, Meghan Markle. Like I said, the crime of being annoying. Number 2, Gwyneth Paltrow. She might have done some evil stuff, I don't know. But most people hate her because she's annoying. Number 3, Anna Gunn, the actress who played Skylar in Breaking Bad. Her crime wasn't even being annoying. It was playing an annoying character. Number 5, Lena Khan. She's just hated because she's antitrust, and Big Tech argues she's overly aggressive in trying to break up monopoly.
Let's do this.
Woman, the reason why people dislike Meghan Markle was because she turned one of the crown princes of England into a massive freaking cuck. This guy was a straight up war hero, and she completely emasculated him on a literal global scale. Gwyneth Paltrow sells medical quackery, and that can actually endanger the lives of literally millions of people. So yeah, I would actually say that's pretty evil, especially since she's doing it in the name of profitability. As for Anna Gunn, people have been hating the actors who portray evil characters on television all the time. This is nothing new. Just take a look at the guy who played Joffrey or pretty much any character from Beverly Hills 90210 and you'll see my freaking point. Now, to be fair, I did try doing some research on Lena Khan because I know absolutely nothing about her, but the only information I could find was from propaganda mongers, so I really can't tell one way or the other what she's done, but I still don't trust her. If you've got the backing of the legacy media, then you are not to be trusted. So yeah, you're not off to a good start there, sister.
Now let's move on to the most hated men on the internet. Number 1 is Andrew Tate. Evil. Number 2, Hunter Moore. Revenge porn. Evil. Number 3, allegations of human rights abuses. Probably evil. Or Elon Musk. Evil. And the last guy drastically increased the price of a life-saving drug. Evil.
I must have missed 60 minutes. What are you saying?
Okay, Okay, alright, I get it. You want your people just to be evil as the men, so I went ahead and went to Grok, which is arguably not biased nearly as much as ChatGPT, and I got a couple of examples for you. You got Elizabeth Bathroyd, the Blood Countess, a Hungarian noblewoman who tortured and murdered hundreds of young women. Eileen Warnuros, I can't pronounce her name correctly, an American serial killer who killed a whole bunch of men between 1989 and 1990. Let's not forget about Karla Homolka, who hard-R'd and murdered at least 3 young girls, including her own sister. Irma Gress, the hyena of Auschwitz, who was also responsible for torturing and killing several countless prisoners and was executed for war crimes. And Wu Zedong, the only woman to rule China who consolidated power and killed rivals, including her own daughter, to secure her position as empress. So there you go. Used a little bit of history and non-biased searching to prove that women can just be as evil as men. Hope that cleared it up for you, lady. You're welcome. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, and make sure to share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you once again for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents, and until next time, peace out, homies.